what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, North Carolina, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
Welcome to the Street Circle Drive podcast here on the Mesh Podcast Network. Street Circle Drive is your Hickory, North Carolina-centric podcast for people who love Hickory, North Carolina. I am your host, Andrew Moose. Thank you for joining us today. We couldn't do this podcast without you, and we sincerely do appreciate it. So once you've listened to this podcast, head over to themesh.tv and subscribe to all of our shows there. Once you subscribe, the episodes will magically appear on your favorite podcast platforms, such as iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher and all that good stuff. Currently produced on The Mesh, we have John Reeps, Country-ish, Big Fan, Chick Chat, Foot Candle Films, Entrepreneur Exchange, I'm with the Band, The Forecast, and so many more. All these shows are dropping new episodes left and right, and would love for you to go check them out. If you're interested in advertising on the Mesh Podcast Network, head over to themesh.tv and hit the advertise button for more information, or you can send us an email at info@themesh.tv. So today on Street Circle Drive, we have a very special guest. She is a downtown Hickory business owner, mom, farmer, skydiving enthusiast, COVID-19 buster. I'd like to welcome Katye Fredieu, the owner of Artisan Soapery, to the podcast.
That is the best
What's
intro
up?
anybody's ever given me. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome, Katye. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Exhausted, but blessed. It's just life is great.
Right. Well, that's great to hear. I'm not going to say in these uncertain times once during this podcast. I just want you to know.
Okay.
Not even once.
Okay.
All right. So I wanted to invite you on the podcast today because first of all, I saw your article in the Hickory Daily Record a couple weeks ago about how you were partnering with other businesses to, pivot away from your normal soap distribution business that you have in downtown Hickory and moving to hand sanitizer. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, how, obviously we know how that came about, but tell us about it.
Well, we normally only make hand sanitizer for teachers, normally for teacher gifts when, it's Teacher Appreciation Month. So I did not think that the pandemic was going to prompt us into the hand sanitizer business, but I was wrong. We got a few requests for it, and I did have the materials here. So I made just about 20 bottles, and they were gone in a matter of a minute. And so I said, okay, well, we need more supplies. But unfortunately, we're going through a national shortage in all kinds of materials, like the high-quality isopropyl alcohol that we need to, as a disinfectant. And then as well, we have a bottle shortage. So we can't even get any more bottles until at least August. So what we have is what we have. And when it's gone, we're offering refills at a discount so that people can keep their bottles and they can continue to get the hand sanitizer that they need. We've partnered with so many downtown businesses, and we have helped so many. When I had an alcohol shortage, Jason from the Hickory Tap Room, he approached me and said, hey, I need hand sanitizer. And I said, well, I need alcohol. And he said, I got the alcohol. And I said, well, I've got the sanitizer. So he gave me about 50 gallons of isopropyl alcohol. And what we did was, since I already had the bottles, I manufactured the hand sanitizer, and whatever I made with his alcohol, we split it 50-50. And that way he can make sure that all of his staff members are protected, and he can sell it at his business too. So it's been a really great partnership. We did find more alcohol, which is wonderful. So we've still been working with Jason. We've even been contracted by a medical supply company right here in downtown Hickory to manufacture over 500 gallons of hand sanitizer so that they can distribute it to their 123 locations. They could get hand sanitizer, but it wasn't going to get here for 2 months, and they needed something quick. So I was happy to help. We've also provided all of our first responders and our essential workers in the city of Hickory, city of Conover, city of Newton, and even Maiden have all been stocked with our hand sanitizer. So it's been an incredible opportunity to be in a position where I can really help bring a product that is so scarcely available to our community and our country. We've been shipping all over the country every day.
People would be lined up out the door just with empty bottles. I would think so.
Yeah, and I've even extended it. I said, if you need any other products such as our bug spray or our bug lotion or our facial astringent, I don't even care if you bring a mason jar. If you bring it, we will fill it, because that's how scared we are that we can't get any more bottles until late summer. So whatever you've got, just bring it and we'll refill it, at a good discount. And we'll just keep this train going as long as we can until all of the supplies that we need become available again.
Right on. Yeah, it's wild how just a month in time can disrupt our supply chain with everything.
Yeah.
Food and plastic bottles, the whole deal. Just a glitch in the matrix, if you will, just was really caused a lot of headaches. But that's great. Maybe, and I've talked to other people about this as well. This is going to really change how people do business. And, because, for instance, you can't find plastic bottles. Well, maybe it might even be a good thing that people are going to start even reusing these things more and more. And that way we're not, producing so many plastic bottles, but we're still getting the things that we need, such as Artisan Soapery hand sanitizer and all that good stuff. I would hope that more local people are looking to you to solve a lot of these problems. And, that the big box stores that, they haven't had hand sanitizer in, months.
Yeah.
And, you're providing that for them.
So many businesses. United Beverage has brought us bottles, and we just charge them per ounce of what we fill so that all of their drivers can be protected. And even Walgreens, a customer came in and said, "I heard you guys have hand sanitizer." And we said, "Yeah, where'd you hear that?" "Well, I went to Walgreens and they said that they were out, but the cashier said you should go down to Artisan Soapery." So even other businesses, Walgreens, their pharmacists use our hand sanitizer until they were able to get a shipment in. So it's been so humbling. I have worked harder in the last 5 weeks than I have in the last 5 years. But it's been incredibly rewarding just to be the one to step up and help the community in this time of need when something can protect them and they cannot find it anywhere.
Right. Katie, how many gallons do you think you've produced in the last 5 weeks?
In the last 5 weeks?
Yeah. Since you basically...
I would say that we have manufactured at least 8,000 gallons.
That's so much hand sanitizer.
I know. And I have so much more to do.
What other businesses can provide that isopropyl alcohol for you? I mean, I'm guessing distilleries and breweries and all that good stuff, they can produce that byproduct.
In my opinion, I think that the best that you can use is the isopropyl 99% alcohol. But the distilleries do have grain alcohol that is effective. I personally don't prefer it only because it has a weird smell to it. So it's great to see, though, that all these breweries have stopped manufacturing and distilling their alcohol and have started to adjust and pivot and to adapt to the change that we're experiencing right now and to manufacture hand sanitizer for their community. It's really great.
For sure. And, speaking about pivoting, there's, you have a storefront in downtown Hickory, but you also have I'll just say booming online business as well. And, I'm just hoping that other people will follow your lead and say, hey, we might not be able to do business as normal, and maybe we should concentrate more on our online side, or, producing something to help others in this time. And I think and I hate to say it, but there's going to be winners and losers in this, and the people that are able to pivot and to do something that's like you are, I think those are the persons that are going to come out winning. And it's great to see, and it's great to see, you as a downtown business that's really stepping up to help a lot of folks. And it's
and thank you.
Good on you, Katie. Yeah, for sure.
I think that the
So
best businesses are the ones that can adapt to change and overcome the obstacles that come your way. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And oftentimes I see businesses fail or close because they were just not willing to adapt into e-commerce or wholesale or, any other outlet that could possibly bring them revenue. In the times that we live in today, you have to be flexible. And I think that we are going to see a lot of businesses that are not going to survive this, which is really sad.
we're just hoping that people do find a way to adapt and to overcome and to find a way to get through these couple months. What do you think, Katie? Do you think it's going to be gangbusters as soon as they allow people to open, or do you think it's going to be slow trickle? What do you think?
I think it's going to be a slow trickle because, especially seeing everybody on both sides from social media or the news, I think there's a lot of people that believe we should get back to life as normal, whatever that means. And
Right.
I see many people that are still going to be terrified. So I think that even when the stay-at-home order is removed and people start getting back to their day-to-day lives, we're still going to see people in the stores with masks for months to come. And I think that even though concerts are going to be allowed to happen and events are going to be allowed to happen, I think we're going to see a huge decrease in the amount of people who show up for it. Because I think for a long time, the fear is going to really affect us.
That's my sentiment exactly. And there's no way of telling, of course, but I would imagine it's going to be people are going to ease into it. The insane part about it is that nobody really knows, and we're just all just collectively flying by the seat of our pants, and it's a smidge scary.
And it seems like it changes day to day. And it's just insane. I think come October, when we do pull off our event, I think we are going to see probably a third of the people that we're used to seeing, but I do think the event will still happen.
Yeah, for sure. Fingers crossed all the way around for all of our downtown events to happen as scheduled. We've got, one thing that we do always talk about on Street Circle Drive is the events that are happening in downtown and Hickory and Hickory surrounding areas. And, Hickory Hops got moved from April to September the 16th. Yeah. And, Oktoberfest is still looking like the second week of October. So, we've got, we're chugging along. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that, we can do these things. And
we can do it. And we're going to pull off a great event no matter how many people show up. We've had a lot of obstacles thrown our way with the whole new site plan that we've had to come up with because of all the construction with the City Walk and that apartment complex being built. So we're adapting to the change. We're making it happen. And I think because of how successful last year's was with the different structural changes that we made, it was more profitable than we've had in a long time, in many years. And so I think we have the potential to pull off an even better event this year. I just hope that people aren't too afraid to leave their house and come out for it. They can pull their mask down while they drink beer. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just nailed your next new product, the like the zipper mask, so you're able to just barely open it to get a beer bottle or something in there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There you go.
I'm gonna make
just have a. There you go. I've got full faith in you.
Hey, this is Alan from the Foot Candle Films podcast. Interested in promoting your business or event to an online audience? Consider advertising on the Mesh Podcast Network. Head over to themesh.tv for details.
So many other businesses are also just stepping in line. You see so many, around our area that are doing that pivot, that are, maybe switching from socks to masks or
and I see a lot of
to hand sanitizer.
They're adjusting. Like my next door neighbor, Katye at Biskin Beads, she's the pottery and jewelry making. Well, she's not an essential business, so she had to close. But instead, she adapted. So she created these take-home sort of craft packages that you could do at home with your family. And they're selling like crazy. It's amazing. And then Regina at Splintique, one of our good friends, she's doing a lot of online shopping sales. So everybody is adapting really well. And I think you're right. I think we are going to see a lot of collateral damage as far as small businesses not surviving this, but it's the ones that separate themselves and adapt to the change and overcome these obstacles that we're going to see thriving after this.
Get in front of it and start creating and be creative, and that's what it's about. And if businesses are creative and get out in front of their consumers, then they're not going to have as much pain as somebody that is just sulking in their storefront. I would hate to see any of our downtown businesses, or any business for that matter, just kind of say, well, I guess we gave it a good try and it's knocked us out. So I don't want to see that happen,
I don't either. And the beautiful part about this is, yes, the pandemic is awful. It's terrible. It's hurting people. It's hurting livelihoods. People are getting laid off and having trouble with unemployment. A lot of people are suffering. But the one thing, I believe that there's a silver lining to absolutely any bad situation. If it wasn't for my motorcycle accident, I wouldn't have been in the skincare business, because I had a need for better products for my own skin, being covered in all those scars. I think the silver lining of this whole pandemic is the fact that it's bringing our communities together in ways that we got so lost from and so disconnected from. It's forcing people to stay at home to spend more quality time with their families, which is something that the working parents don't often get to do very much of. So I think there are some good things that are going to come out of this. I don't think that life is ever going to go back to how it was before. I keep hearing the term new normal, and it's an irritating term, but I think it's valid. We are going to have a new normal, but I think the economy is going to suffer for a little while after this. But we'll recover. We always bounce back.
Always do. And, the recovery will look different for everybody. But, it's just, I think the most important virtue that all of us can have through this is patience. And, with patience, it makes everyone a little kinder and just a little bit more aware of everyone else that's around. And, it's everybody. And I read a great article the other day. It says that, we're not all in the same boat, but we're all weathering the same storm.
Yes.
Everybody's boat's different, but the storm's the same.
That's perfect.
So just, for sure. And I wish I could take credit for that, but I will. We can credit the internet for that. Katye, tell everybody where you can go buy all their hand sanitizer and soaps and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, you can come straight to downtown Hickory, right on Union Square. We're in between the wine shop and Bisque & Beads in the center of the square. We are open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 5, Friday, 11 to 7, Saturday, 11 to 5, and we are closed Sundays because of the virus now, but we are normally open Sunday 1 to 4. And
gotcha. And if they want to order online?
Yeah, if they want to order online, it's www.ArtisanSoapery.com, and I have a special tab right on the homepage where they can click and go directly to the hand sanitizer. We have it in 3 different sizes. It's the aloe and botanical hand sanitizer. So we use aloe and a touch of our vegan lotion, which is a game changer. Your hands will not dry out no matter how many times you use it. And of course, it has the good isopropyl 99% alcohol. And we use a blend of essential oils that are good for men and women and kids alike. It's a blend of lemon, eucalyptus, pine, and lavender. It's lovely.
Nice. Ashley bought us a couple of them. The ones that came in the purple cylindrical bottle. Yeah. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, that was great. I'm about out. I need to come get some more from you.
And once we run out of these bottles, if we can't get any more bottles to make hand sanitizer, we're going to sell gallons and we're going to offer the refills. And of course, the CDC states soap and water for 20 seconds is good, and we will not run out of soap. So come get yourself some bars.
There you go. Well, Katye, thank you so much for being on Street Circle Drive today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Oh, you're welcome. Usually in Street Circle Drive, we visit a local establishment and do a restaurant review, but because of the situation that we're in, we're unable to go physically to restaurants. So we're going to do our restaurant review section of the podcast just a little bit differently. So, Katye, tell me this. What is your favorite takeout go-to in Hickory?
So far, it's been Charlie Granger's right here on Union Square. They have take-home family meals, and their brisket and their hot dogs and their sides. My favorite is the turkey gumbo, and their slaw and pimento cheese is homemade and amazing. And I'm really picky about those two things, and they nail it every time. So we've been eating a lot of takeout food from Charlie Granger's because my kids love it, and so do I. And it's a beautiful family that is dear to my heart that owns it. So it's been important to me to support them.
Awesome. I would say mine right now is Isabella's with the taco deal on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
They have, yeah, it's great. We're going to go there tonight. And it's a great deal. It's like 4 tacos for $8, and then you get chips, guac, and cheese for $9 or something. It's a really good deal. You can feed a family of 4 for nothing. Yeah, it's really, really good deal.
And it is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday for those keeping score at home. Yeah. But Katie, thank you again so much for being on Street Circle Drive and the Mesh. And if any of our listeners out there would like to get in touch with Katie, please go find Artisan Soapery on all the social media and on her website and all that good stuff. I highly recommend all that hand sanitizer that she is making. It is fantastic. Katie Fredieu with Artisan Soapery has been our guest today with Street Circle Drive. My name is Andrew Moose. Thank you all for listening again here on the Mesh.tv. We hope that you are getting along with everyone in the friendly confines of your home, and that if you do feel like you need to get out of your house, a walk is much safer than anything else. So, Katie, thanks again. This has been Street Circle Drive on the Mesh.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.